Drew Parsons. I'm the audio specialist for Avid, and we're here today to talk about Atmos. I've kind of been an advocate for quite a long time. Like, I think, Atmos has been around, almost a decade, I would say. And I kind of saw that it was going to be a thing for music. And it wasn't really until Apple kind of got on board that it became quite the thing. So it's been great just to kind of see a new format. Like I compare it to video where they've had, 4K, 8K, high dynamic range, and we've been stuck with just the one thing. So it's just kind of refreshing to have something new to play with. A couple of months ago, after all the COVID lockdowns went away, I was working with the guys at Innovative Music, and we decided to put together a little room where we could play with all of our Avid toys, like the lovely S6 console, and set up a little Atmos room. And it was, for a couple of things: to show off how our hardware integrates with Atmos, to do some training for our resellers and customers, and a place for people to learn about this stuff. People can come and find out what it's all about. We're running at the moment Pro Tools Ultimate with a HDX card into our Matrix or MTRX interface. On top of that, we've got the Dolby software running as well. And with the new version of Pro Tools, I'm using Aux.io to be able to route from Pro Tools to the Dolby software while using my HDX as my main interface. We've done a lot of training here for a lot of our audio partners that are actually selling Avid products. But I've had people like SAE come through here, and the lecturers have wanted to get a bit of an update on the Atmos thing, so we spent a night with them and got them up to speed on everything. And I've had end users that are looking at updating to Atmos and wanting to know what they need to invest in, and how much, if there's an incremental step or if they just have to go all out. And it's been a kind of place for them to kind of have that discussion and kind of learn of what they need. To get into the world of Atmos, you really need to have some kind of monitor controller so that you can actually be controlling all of the EQ processing and phase and delay times of all those speakers. Where the MTRX or the MTRX Studio come in handy is that it is an audio interface and it's a monitor controller all in the one box. For someone that just wants to kind of dip their toes into the water, they could get Pro Tools Studio and the Dolby production suite and start mixing just on headphones, and they could be working in Atmos today. Then if you want to use speakers, you would either have to get a monitor controller like the Matrix or Matrix Studio, or go down the path of getting a third-party box, something from Trinov or JBL will do that for you. I know some people that are using the GLM software with their Genelec speakers to be able to do all that control as well. They would be kind of your bare minimums that you would need. Aux.io is a function in Pro Tools that allows me to use other audio devices connected to my computer, whether they are bits of software or other interfaces, to route audio in and out of Pro Tools while still using my main audio interface. So at the moment, I've got my HDX system as my ins and outs into Pro Tools, but then I could add Dolby Renderer as a way of getting 128 channels out of Pro Tools into the Dolby software. We've also added a thing called the Pro Tools Audio Bridge. So the Pro Tools Audio Bridge allows me to route in and out of other bits of software into Pro Tools. So I've got all of my re-renders from the Dolby Atmos production suite coming back into Pro Tools, so I can actually record all of my re-renders. So I've got my 5.1 and my stereo. What's also very cool is that I have the stereo return coming from the Dolby Atmos production suite on an aux track in Pro Tools, which is also being sent to Zoom. So if I had a client that wanted to listen to my mix, I could actually send them a binaural stereo feed straight into Zoom, and if they had headphones on, they could be listening to my Atmos mix. We have seen a dramatic kind of push of people getting into this in the last few months. It has been, really, really cool to see people jumping on board. There have been people that are just kind of waiting to see what's happening, but then there have been a lot of people that have just been going out and buying, our interfaces because they see that this is a thing, or they're getting requests from labels to make this happen. There's been a massive push from Apple to get labels to deliver Atmos files to put on their platform.